Hello, everybody, and we should be live. Yes, we are live. The Canadians played, and the game finished an hour ago. My apologies for being late, by the way. And yep, here we go. It's already started. Yep, there we go. All right, so the stream is already lagging. I'm gonna have to hurry this up big time. I'm gonna have to try and get it done in like 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, the Canadians played tonight. They played the Blackhawks, and they kind of lost big time. Hey, cool dude, how's it going? How's it going, man? But yeah, so the Canadians, like I said, they played at home and they didn't necessarily do too well. We're gonna get into the stats on the board, and then we will talk about the actual game itself. So, just a second, I will move the mic over. So yeah, stats on the board. Tatar still leads the team now with 16 goals and 23 assists for 39 points. Brendan Gallagher, who is currently injured, sadly, 15 goals, 18 assists for 33 points. Max Domi, 12 goals, 21 assists, 33 points for himself. Shea Weber, 12 goals, 20 assists for 32 points. Same thing with Phillip Danault, 12 goals, 20 assists. Jeff Petrie, 6 goals, 22 assists for 28 points. Nick Suzuki, 9 goals, 18 assists for 27 points. Arturi Lehkonen, 10 goals, 12 assists for 22 points. Yoel Armia and Jonathan Drouin, who are currently injured. Armia with 12 goals, 9 assists, 21 points. Jonathan Drouin with 7 goals, 8 assists for 15 points. Ben Sherratt, 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points as well. Ilya Kovalchuk, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. I think you are not make the playoffs. Sorry to hear that, man. Hey, James, no worries, brother. It's perfectly fine, man. If we don't make the playoffs, at least we have a slight chance of getting Alexis Lafreniere first overall. Nick Cousins, 5 goals, 8 assists for 13 points. Nate Thompson, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. Victor Mete, 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points. Jesper Kotkaniemi, 6 goals, 2 assists. Jordan Wheel, 5 goals, 3 assists, both with 8 points. Paul Byron, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. Brendan Kulak with 4 assists. Cale Fleury and Ryan Paling with a goal. And Charles Hudon, Christian Fullen, and Dale Weiss with helpers. With one helper. Our record is now 20, 21, and 7 with 47 points. Last game was this one. Canadians 1, Blackhawks 4. Power play is now 25 for 127, and our penalty kill is 110 for 140, so not too bad. Our home record is now 10, 12, and 4, and our away record is still 10, 9, and 3. So, of course, I put the board there. Borsty is my board's name. And of course, we are going to get into the stats. The recap of the game. I'm going to try and make this a little quick because my internet already shit the bed like 10 seconds into the stream. Next game is actually tomorrow. It's against the not the Red Wings. Who's the next game? The Flyers. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, tomorrow's against the Flyers. So yeah, tomorrow's against the Flyers. I will be up here live after the game as well, obviously. So yeah, next game is tomorrow against the Flyers. Lineups, and before the game, actually, apparently Yoel Armia is close to returning. So Yoel Armia definitely is going to help that top 6. Not sure if he would push Kovalchuk out or if he'll push Lehkonen. I would personally think he does push Lehkonen out of that top 6 because Lehkonen in more games only has 1 more point than Armia. Armia, I think if he was healthy, he would definitely have 30 to 40 points, maybe even 50 if all the Canadians were healthy. They probably have a big winning record. I would think personally 30 wins by now at least. But yeah, that's obviously for afterwards. So Armia is to returning to the lineup. I don't know if he'll be healthy for tomorrow for Philly, or if he'll be healthy for Saturday against Vegas, but at least they have a good chance next year if they get Lafreniere. I don't know how to spell it. Hey, no worries, cool dude. But yeah, if we somehow get Alexis Lafreniere, we definitely do have a good chance, especially if we do resign someone like Domi. Scandella is probably coming off the books. The 1.3 we have from buying out Steve Mason comes off this year. If we don't resign guys like Cousins or Pekka, or if we decide to trade them for picks, then we should have roughly $15 million if we want to go after a big name, or if we do want to sign a couple. I guess technically they would be bottom 6 forwards. Kovalchuk, we could definitely resign him from the sample size we've seen of him. 5 points in 6 games, which is really, really good. So we do have a chance next year. We always have a chance next year, and who knows? Maybe we go on an insane run and win 15 straight somehow this year, and somehow make the playoffs. Who knows? As a Leafs fan, I always say Habs losing. I would say Habs losing like always. No offense. Hey, Metal Clan, no worries. Keep in mind, I'm a Leafs fan myself. Obviously, it goes Habs, Knights, Leafs, Penguins, Rangers, blah, blah, blah. But I am a Leafs fan as well, so Habs losing like always. I mean, we have 21 losses this year. Leafs aren't making the playoffs. Habs aren't. Meh. So yeah, like I said, Armia is close to coming back. I would think either Saturday against the Knights, or if they want to make sure he's really healthy, keep him out until the All-Star break, and hope that Drouin is back then as well. Maybe also Byron. Do you think Gabriel Pajot gets traded to your team? No, James. I don't think Jean Gabriel Pajot gets traded to the Habs. I think if anything, he'll sign here in free agency. I don't think we, unless, who knows, maybe unless we give up, say for example, it's Tatar and Petrie. Let's just say Tatar, and it's say Tatar and a second for Pajot and a first. Let's, for some reason, if Ottawa does that, then I personally think that would be really good to do, just because it would give us a French Canadian who's actually good in Jean Gabriel Pajot. And who knows, maybe if it's, say for example, Anthony Duclair and Jean Gabriel Pajot for Tatar and Petrie, for example, I think that would be good to do personally for the team. Gives us two potentially top six forwards. Jean Gabriel Pajot definitely. Anthony Duclair is definitely a really, really good bottom six guy, at least from what I've seen of him the past few years. And I honestly think he would do very, very well with the Canadians, both of them actually, because Duclair and Domi are friends. If you put them on the same line, maybe Duclair, Domi, Suzuki is your third line, maybe second, but probably third, because you're going to have so much talent. Yeah, who knows? But I would like to see Jean-Gabriel Pajot traded, only if it betters the team. But I don't necessarily know if we would trade for Jean-Gabriel Pajot, or if we'd rather just acquire him in free agency this coming year. So the lineups, they were Tatar, Danault, Kovalchuk, Lehkonen, Domi, Suzuki, Palin, Kokianemi, and Cousins, and Pekka, Thompson, Wheel. So Wheel, I believe, gets moved down to that third line, and Weiss is a healthy scratch. Funny enough, after getting an assist last game, he's a healthy scratch. Sorry, we are getting the first pick. James, never know. Draft lottery does very funny things, much like how Colorado was supposed to get first overall pick, and you guys were so dumb for trading him, and then they draft fourth. Draft is funny that way. Think you're guaranteed something, then nope, goes in a completely different direction, and the New Jersey Devils win the draft lottery, and you as a Rangers fan are left with Capo Caco. That's besides the point. Sherratt Weber, Scandella Petrie, Mete Fleury, of course, the defensive pairings, and Charlie Lindgren is a net. Because, of course, it's a back-to-back. You got to play Lindgren one night. Don't be stupid and play Price both nights, as they did early in the season. That is turn man. That is turn man. What do you mean, James? What do you mean? I didn't like call you dumb. Sorry, man. I say that. Hey, don't worry, James. Don't worry that you say that. It's no worries. I'm just saying a lot of people were saying Ottawa was dumb for giving up the first overall pick last year, but then it turned out to be a fourth overall pick, and trade kind of worked out better for them. Spotlight, ... I agree. Lindgren, Mr. Guido, not Guido. That's an Italian slur, I think. Lindgren, those first two goals were not Lindgren's fault. The first one, it was Tatar's fault. I'm just so confused. Spotlight, me too. But actually, Mr. Guido, we're going to get to Lindgren in just a little bit. 30 seconds into the game, Crawford took a fall. He went off balance. Habs were not able to capitalize on it, sadly. And then the Habs early on were not looking too great. Fleury got called for a hooking that really kind of wasn't a hooking. And then Paling down the other way, doing good, looking to score, but he ends up drawing a penalty instead. It's 4-on-4 for 45 seconds in the Habs power play. And on that Habs power play, it's Zach Smith scoring shorthanded off some really bad communication from Lindgren and Tatar. Basically, Lindgren was behind the net. He was getting ready to play. He saw Tatar coming. Okay, Tatar's going to play the puck. Goes up. Tatar doesn't take it. And it's not Sanford. I want to say it's Smith, I think. It's Smith who ends up passing it to... No, not Brendan Smith. No, who would it have been? I forget who it was, but passes it right up to... passes it up to Zach Smith, and he scores shorthanded. The white jersey was due for a wash, and this one kind of is too. Zach scored. Yeah, old player on your team. Yep, old player on the team, famous for getting waived last year, and then in a game against Montreal, Domi shouting waivers at him. First, we have Habs lose to Stars 3-2 OT, and now Habs lose to Hawks. What is happening? Yeah, 2020 is gonna end up bad for some great teams this year. I agree. Spotlight, dirty boy. Hey, Mr. DDT, how's it going, brother? We got Mr. DDT up in this bitch all of a sudden. Mr. DDT, how's it going, man? How's it going, brother? Is Andrew Shaw hurt? Randy, and yes, Randy, Randy Shaw. Andrew Shaw is hurt. He was diagnosed with a concussion, I believe, earlier today, so he was out of the game today. Probably just helped the Canadiens, if anything. Which it would have been great because I believe they would have done like a little tribute thing to him probably for his first 2 years of service with the Canadiens. So it's a shorthanded goal. Zach Smith scores, and it's 1-0 Blackhawks. The Habs are 1-for-1 on the PK, but 0-for-1 on the PP. And technically, the Hawks are technically 0-for-1, 1-for-1 shorthanded. I emerge from the darkness, DDT. Hell yeah, you emerge from the darkness, and then you fade to black. And then Zach Smith scores again. He tips in a puck that was shot from the blue line. It's 2-0 Blackhawks. Mete was really off, out of position for that. Funny that they're playing well in front of Price, but not in front of Lindgren. And I must return as the voices are calling. All right, Mr. DT, if you're heading out already, thanks for stopping by the stream, brother. I can name some players that were on Avs. Ryan O'Reilly, Alex Kerfoot was on Devils before. I did not realize that. Yeah, right now Habs are really lacking scoring the last 3 games. It's just that we happen to win the last 2 games. But I don't know if it's necessarily because today we played well. Aha, you thought I was leaving? Hey, Mr. DT, sticking around, making the stream lit as always, brother. While yes, the Habs were lacking scoring the last 3 games, you were wrong. Get baited. I just got baited. The Habs did win the last 2 before tonight. I don't know. I feel like personally, even though we did lose tonight, it was more because of how good Crawford was and how bad the team was in the first. The Blackhawks really took advantage of us in that first period with the shorthanded goal and the tip in front because Mete was out of position on that. After that, the 2 goals that went in were kind of Lindgren's fault. But even then, the third goal, which we'll get into, was kind of controversial. I'm waiting for Joe and Byron. I'm waiting for them to return as well, of course, and of course also Gallagher. But I think once Armia and Drouin come back, they're definitely going to add to the top 6. Well, technically top 9 because Drouin's going to start on the third line and then work his way back up once he's like 100%. But I think Armia and Drouin are definitely going to add to the top 6 and definitely Gallagher when he comes back. So today I played NHL 15. Holy God, the skating and the players look nothing like the real life players. Spotlight, did you play on PS3 or the PS4 version? Because funny enough, I've actually been playing the PS3 version today, and it looks much better than the PS4 version, at least in my opinion, or Xbox One, whichever version you have. But yeah, I have. Funny enough, actually, just give me a second. Your boy was stupid enough to get NHL 15 on PS4, and any of you guys who didn't see the price tag, any of you guys want to take a guess how much it was? Oh, Xbox One, yeah, Xbox One and the PS4 versions I heard are terrible. Oops, for Gallagher, yeah, no, yeah, I agree, Randy. Everyone kind of forgets Gallagher. Yo, I think it should no goal in the 3 goal. James, I agree with you on that, but we are going to get to the 3rd goal. But like I said, if anyone can guess properly, I'm going to cover it up. $90, $64.99. Thankfully not $90 Spotlight. Thankfully not $64.99, Randy. If anyone else has any other guesses, if not, in about a minute from now, at about 15 minutes into the video, I will. That's when I'll reveal how much I spent on this game. As the disc apparently keeps flopping out. $20? No, not 20. James Barry, ding, 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 ding. I paid $4.99 for NHL 15 on PS4. I paid $4.99 because of how bad this game was. And genuinely, I bought NHL 17 like a month later, and it was $20. So the fact that 15, do you mean original price? Oh my, Randy, yeah, like it was how much I bought it for, original price, but. Well, technically, I think it was actually $4.50 because I had Edge Premium or Edge Platinum, whatever it is. $5 for this, and it's not even worth that. I think the only good part about NHL 15 was the hilarious fumbles you can take in the game. Oh, misunderstood. Hey, Randy, no worries, man. No worries, no worries. But yeah, at launch it was $70, or no, 80. Yeah, it was 80. I'm pretty sure at launch. Sadly. And where am I? I'm right here. Palin got taken down with his own stick, ramming him in the face, and then Tatar took down one of the Blackhawks players. Probably should have been a penalty for boarding. It was kind of a blindsided hit. The Blackhawks player didn't see Tatar coming, but I do understand why they didn't call it. And then Kovalchuk went after Connor Murphy after whacking at a loose puck. A big pileup. This game is looking starting to get more physical in the first. Habs were starting to play better as the period went along, but nothing came out of it. And after the first period, it's 2-0 Blackhawks, and shots are 12-11 Habs. And early on, the Habs scored. It's 54 seconds into the second. Phillip Danault scores his 12th of the year. Helpers going to Kovalchuk and Tatar. It makes it a one-goal game. Avs have great defense, men unfair to other teams. You have Byram, Makar, Zadorov, Cole. I don't know about Zadorov. Us Habs fans, we don't care for Zadorov. Yeah, more, but I forget names. Spotlight. I don't disagree with. I don't disagree with you in the slightest, man. Avs have some great defense. But yeah, Danault scored early into the second, and it looked like the Habs were really trying to get something going here, and they kind of weren't, though. They kind of weren't able to. The Habs are playing well thus far. They're laying the body and getting shots on net, and then they got a power play. Drake Caggiula went to the box for high-sticking Ilya Kovalchuk, and the Habs power play sucks. The PP sucks, though, as the Habs go shorthanded. Max Domi with a sucker punch and forcing the helmet off a Blackhawks player. I would argue should have been 5, because I've been seeing Domi this year where he'll take a penalty and it's like, oh, he really didn't need to take that. No goal. Yeah, I was mad tonight as well, James, on that no goal. But I wasn't so much mad as just confused, but we will get to that in very, very shortly. Oh, God. Bring this back into frame. There we go. There we go. Bring you back in the frame. There we go. A tough loss. Yeah, Captain Canada, what's up, man? Nothing much with me personally. It was definitely a tough loss tonight. But yeah, Drake Caggiula, high stucked. Kovalchuk, they only got one good shot on, one good chance on it, and then Domi took his penalty, which was iffy. And then on said power play, it's Alex DeBrincat scoring controversially on Charlie Lindgren. His blocker was off. And if you guys saw the goal, what do you guys think of it? Because earlier in the power play, about 15 or so seconds before, Lindgren is looking to try and cover the puck. A lot of players whacking at it. It's no goal. Or doesn't go in, I should say. But Lindgren loses his blocker in the process. So his hand is left exposed. He shoves it into his pants because he obviously doesn't want to, or it's side of his pants or whatever. And because he obviously doesn't want to get hit with it, he's going to break his hand if he tries to stop just a bare hand. And they score on the ensuing play. Me personally, I see why they left it as a good goal, but personally, I think it should have been no goal because whenever a regular player loses his helmet, he's supposed to go to the bench and either get a new one, or he's either supposed to pick up his helmet, put it back on, or go right to the bench. And I feel like it should be the same with the goalies, or it is the same with the goalies. When they lose their helmet, whistles, the play is blown dead. Personally, I think this should have been blown dead as well. I think since he lost his blocker and it could have injured him, they should have blown the play dead, like I said, and it should have been no goal on the play. But I would say it didn't necessarily matter because we did still lose. Still would have been 3-1. But definitely the Canadiens. That was definitely a very tough goal. And I think Alex DeBrincat is going to be a bit of a target next time Blackhawks are in town. It probably should have been a no goal, but I can see why they left it as a goal. But personally, it should have been a no goal in my opinion. So the Habs are now 0 for 2 on the power play and 1 for 2 on the PK. And then Lindgren looked hurt after the goal, actually. After the goal, he looked like he injured his groin or his thigh or something. Because after the goal, while they were reviewing it, they weren't reviewing it so much as I think just looking to see what happened on the play. Lindgren was getting stretched out. Lindgren was stretching with the trainer. The trainer came on the ice, They were stretching his legs, and they were trying to like see if something was wrong with him on the ice. And apparently there was a time limit, which I think the goalie in the net. The goalie in the net. What do you mean, James? The Habs playing well every night. We just cannot. I agree, Captain Canada. Well, for tonight, it's not excusable because the first period was not ours. It was really the Blackhawks, and they definitely capitalized with Zach Smith's 2 goals. But yeah, it definitely. We are playing well just about every night. We just can't find the back of the net, like you said. The blocker, it fell off. I was not necessarily mad. I was more confused as to why they didn't blow the play dead, in my opinion. Hey man, it's been a while. How's it going? Hey, Habs guy, how's it going, brother? It's going well aside from the loss tonight. But yeah, it's not going too well, honestly, with the Habs at least. Habs guy, actually, now that you're in the stream, your name reminding me. Your name is reminding me. I gotta watch more of your recent videos. I gotta see what videos you've uploaded recently, aside from like I think last week. Last week was the last time I watched your newest video. But yeah, Habs guy. Hope you're doing well as well. Where am I? I'm right here. Lindgren was looking hurt. I put you should just pull him and put Price in for the rest of the night, and then call up Primo to play tomorrow because I think the worst case was what happened is that Lindgren ended up playing the rest of the game. Technically, it's the best case scenario because he only allowed 1 goal and didn't allow like 5 or 6. I think the worst thing would have been is if on the play after the goal, the Blackhawks first shot in and they score. Because I think that 100% would have meant, okay, Primo or Lindgren, you're not playing well. Price is going in, especially if he was hurt. But thankfully, they did only get a goal past him in the third, which we will get to. Thanks, I'm doing pretty good. I have another video coming out next Wednesday. Hey, Habs guy, looking forward to that video. Nice, can't wait to check it out. Kovalchuk is so impressive, a great silver lining. Habs guy, I agree. Kovalchuk 5 points in 6 games. He's looking great with the Canadiens thus far. And really hoping this means he produces. He's able to find that former, not 40 goal scorer, but that hopefully he's able to find what he was kind of like with the Devils, and like, okay, hey, pass here. All right, I'm gonna score here. I'm gonna score now. Pass. And he's looking really, really good with the Canadiens. Hopefully he sticks like this, and we re-sign him in the next year, and he looks good as well. The Habs played well for the rest of the second, but they just couldn't get anything past Corey Crawford. And entering the third period, it's 3-1 Blackhawks. Shots are evened at 22 apiece. The Habs played well in the early going into the third, but they weren't able to get a goal past Crawford once again. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch much of the third. I was setting stuff up for the stream. I was talking with a friend of mine because we haven't talked in a while. But I didn't watch much of the third because I knew at that point we're more than likely going to lose. Victor Larson, how many shots did we get? We got 33 shots on net. What time is it there? It's 11:05 p.m. So yeah, I'm probably going to try and end the stream in about 10 minutes or so. And another penalty went to the Habs. It was too many men called with Victor Mete going to serve it. The Habs killed it off and then got something going, but they tried to get something going, but they just weren't able to. They really had to. 2 for 3 on the PK. Because we've had a lot of trouble finishing our shots this season. Victor Larson, it's funny you say that, actually, because I believe we are still first in the league for shots per game. I believe we're averaging 30 or so shots a game. We're kind of like the Carolina Hurricanes from, was it last season? Yeah, last season. From last season, where they're shooting a ton, 30, 40 shots a night, but they aren't winning. You get the hot girlfriend? Not yet, James. Not yet the hot. I didn't get a hot girlfriend. But believe me, I'm looking, and that's that Patreon money's gonna go for once I set that up. No, not really. No, it's not gonna go towards that. Any money I do get once I make the Patreon is genuinely gonna go towards stuff that I can do to improve the stream. Just not Wi-Fi, because I don't think I can get better Wi-Fi than it is right now, sadly. But it's gonna go towards. Actually, I think the first thing I get, your time will come. Hey, Victor Mete, Victor Larson. Victor Mete. My apologies, Victor Larson. You're not Victor Mete. Oh, who knows? Maybe you are. Yeah, I've never seen you and Victor Mete in the same room before. But Victor Larson, thank you. Thank you for that. I live in Montreal too. Hey, Victor Larson, dude, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. your time, I'll come. Oh, it's 11:07 p.m. is my time. Question for you: which team, all 16, are you going for the playoffs? Captain Canada. That's difficult. Blues, Leafs, um, Knights, Avs, because I want to see them succeed quite a bit. Yeah, that's two apiece. I feel like I should go for three each. Bruins, just because I kind of like the Bruins. There's one of Pittsburgh, obviously Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm narrowing it down to one a conference. No, two per East and two per West. West Blues and Knights 100%, and the West probably Leafs. And I'm going to say Flyers, actually. Despite being a Pittsburgh fan, I'm also a fan of the Flyers. I like both. I want to see the Flyers make the second round, maybe even the conference final, just because I love gritty. The Blues will win the cup. Yeah, if the Blues can two-peat, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see the Blues two-peat. And then immediately it's going to be like the Penguins, where we're going to say they're going to win the cup next year, and then they're going to lose in 6 to the Capitals because all your depth pieces became liabilities. And we don't talk about the Penguins losing to the Capitals because that never happens. The Habs killed off the power play or the penalty kill, and then the Blackhawks scored. It's 4-1 Blackhawks. It was a really awful turnover, just barely out of their zone. Drake Caggiula scores, and it's 4-1 Blackhawks. I didn't see if Lindgren got pulled or not. I would assume he didn't because Price is playing tomorrow. And after that goal, the Habs really had nothing left in the tank. They were just killing off the rest of the time to give the Blackhawks the win. They knew they weren't gonna come back and score at least three on Crawford in 7 minutes. And the Habs lost their first in 2 games, technically 3 games. It's 4-1 win to the Blackhawks. Shots are 33-28 Habs though. Crawford deserves the first star because he probably got the first star. I think Toronto won't win the cup. I don't like Toronto. Hey, James, you don't like Toronto. You're an Ottawa fan. That's understandable. Personally, I'd love to see the Maple Leafs win the cup in their only year they have to do it, even though they do have a lot of defensemen that they will be able to pay or are paying this season. The only one they have to choose between, I believe it's Kerfoot and Barry. I think that's who it is. I know it's Barry and what's his name? I forget. Kerfoot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Barry and Kerfoot they have to choose between. But yeah. So the Habs lost tonight. It was not a very, very good win for them at all, really. But yeah. I'm still waiting to hear back from Victor. Riot Synergy, what's up? Long time no talk, my bad. Hey, Riot Synergy, no worries, homie. No worries, brother. I'm glad to see you're back in the stream, though. It has been a long time. Nothing much is up, really. What has been up with you? What's been up with you, brother? See, most of the time Montreal dominating shots, just be able to score. Kovalchuk is a former 40-goal scorer. Sorry, I said, hey, James, don't apologize, brother. Don't apologize. I don't like Ottawa personally. I'm a fan of Toronto. I don't like Ottawa. If you like Ottawa and don't like Toronto, that's perfectly fine, brother. We all have our choice teams we root for and don't root for, actually. Armia, before he was injured, he had 12 goals. He was looking like he could be a 30-goal scorer for us. Tatar could get 20, potentially 30 this year. Even Danault, even Galley, he was looking like a 25-goal scorer. Domi, Weber, and Danault each have 12 goals. We have selective goal scorers, and even Lehkonen has 10 this year. It really just depends on where we are at that point. Because honestly, Domi looked good despite the penalty he took. Everyone generally looked good. Honestly, I think all we have to do, we have to get Fleury more points. We have to get Paling more points. We have to get Kotkaniemi going. We have to get once we have to get Suzuki going a little more because he's on the second line. He's producing like a second liner. But I think we have to get Domi going again because I believe they said he hasn't scored in 7 games after having those. I believe it was 2 straight 6-game point streaks. Do you think the Habs will trade Price? I want to say yes, but I honestly don't think this season they will. Because, well, yes, Bergevin has said that he won't look into offers for Price, and he did the same thing with Subban before he got traded for Weber. I personally don't think the Habs will trade Price this year. I think, if anything, they'll wait until next season to see how Primo does as the full-time starter. And if they're able to trade him off to, let's just say, St. Louis for, say, Jake Allen, who could be a decent backup for us, and a first, second, and maybe a prospect, for example. But yeah, I the Habs trading price, I don't think this year necessarily, but I think in a year or two, probably. Um, for me personally, the way I see it, um, the way I see it is every year as the cap goes up, the price on Weber contracts look better in a way. Because Weber, he's taken up $7 million when that contract was signed by Philly, and then of course Nashville. Um, it was very much for the most part, it was very much a bad contract because it was meant to be a bad contract. It was like, okay, Nashville's not going to sign this, we'll have Weber. But of course, Nashville did match it, and they had to pay Weber $7 million. They ended up trading him to us, obviously. But at the time, I think the cap hit was something like $60 million, so they were paying a good portion of their cap to Weber. But as the year goes on, he's taken up $82 million, $7 million, barely 10%. I don't know how percentages work. Probably about 8% of the cap is just towards Weber. Of course, not including signing bonuses or pay or performance bonuses or anything like that. Just straight up cap hit. It's not that bad of a contract, and by the time he expires, the cap will more than likely be at around 95, maybe 100 million, but I doubt it. Probably max 90, 95 million. So by the time Weber is 40 and probably retired in his second or third year by then, um, the cap recapture penalty goes to Nashville. And I love screwing over Nashville, as we did with the Weber and Subban trade, because I don't like Nashville at all. The cap recapture penalty, I believe, does go to Nashville and not Montreal. I think like a very bit of it. I think they would take like $1 million or something, and Nashville would get the rest, I think. Unless it's split 50-50, but I'm not 100% sure. That'd be fucked if Philly somehow got a piece of it because, like, hey, you guys signed the contract at first. You guys get a piece of it. But yeah, favorite player on your team is Max. Your favorite player on our team is Max? Because mine personally would probably be Gallagher. Either Gallagher or Suzuki. Suzuki's definitely going up there, and definitely Kovalchuk's up there. Thompson's up there. Primo's probably up there. Paling's a little bit up there. Fleury's really up there. Do you think that trading Braden Point and Crosby for McDavid and Ovi is a good trade in my fantasy hockey? Do you think that trading Point and Crosby for McDavid and Ovi is a good trade in my fantasy hockey? Point for if you're doing straight up point and make point for if it has to be the 2-for-2 deal, maybe it depends because McDavid is looking like he probably could win the Hart a couple trophies this year. Ovi is looking good, pretty good, but Crosby's back. He should be pretty quick. I would 100% give it a point, honestly, because if you can get point for McDavid 1-for-1 somehow, I would do that. Crosby for Ovi is kind of the iffy one for me. Because personally, I would keep Crosby on your fantasy hockey team. But it depends if it's just going off of points or if it's going by ice zone, if it's going by puck control, stuff like that. But personally, I would do point for McDavid, Crosby for McDavid maybe, but Crosby for Ovi. Or if you're doing Crosby for McDavid and point for Ovi, I would do point for Ovi. Crosby for McDavid, maybe. Oh, it just goes by points? Well, then Point and Crosby for McDavid and Ovi. If you're getting McDavid, it's definitely worth it, but it's the Crosby for Ovi because Crosby should potentially have 40 points by the end of the year. But then again, Ovi will have 90. I personally would do it. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. If you're able to do just point for McDavid, that'd be perfect. But if you have to do Crosby, if you have to swap Crosby for Ovi as well, I say it's kind of a win-win in a way because Crosby could definitely have some 4 or 5 point nights, but McDavid could have them as well because he is McDavid. Okay, I'll think on that. Thanks. You're very welcome. I think New York Islanders will win the cup, the orange team. Oh, James, if you think the Islanders are going to win the cup, oof, I don't like Islanders as well. Don't apologize. It's your opinion. It's just me personally. I can't see them making it out of the second round. I think if it's Islanders and Philly in the first round, they will get knocked out in 6. But if they somehow make it past Philly and it's Islanders and Pittsburgh in the second round, it's a sweep for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is getting revenge on the Islanders. Whether it's Islanders and Penguins in the first, or if it's them in the second round, it's a sweep for Pittsburgh. Or it's a sweep against the Islanders. Pittsburgh is going to sweep the Islanders, I personally think. So yeah, and I'm probably gonna get out of here in just a couple minutes, guys. If you guys got anything left to say, please comment in the chat. Otherwise, I will be heading out here in just a couple minutes because I do have stuff to do. I want to start working on some videos. I want to actually start working on something very, very special that I believe someone may or may not have commented on in the last live stream I did. Wink, wink. But they beat Pittsburgh. Keep in mind, if I can play contrarian, yes, they did beat Pittsburgh last year. How many times did Pittsburgh beat? But how many games or how many times did Pittsburgh beat the Capitals? And then the Capitals finally beat the Penguins 2 years ago. But if the Islanders beat the Penguins, I don't see them getting out of the second round unless it's in the second round. In that case, I don't see them getting back to the conference finals. I'm not a Canes fan. I'm a Pens fan, and I called the Canes winning the Cup the first game of the season. Did you really? Wow. But you came pretty damn close. They were in the conference final. Sadly, they got swept, which kind of was the pattern. The Canes were the team that got swept. Or no. Yeah. The Bruins were the team that beat the team who got swept. Were the team who swept the team who swept the team who was a former Stanley Cup champion. That is turn. That is turn? What do you mean, James? What do you mean that is turn? Second, I will message. Just want to message a friend of mine. Where is this? Okay, yeah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get out of here in just a minute, guys, because I do have stuff to do for a potential project. Where am I? Right here. All right. That is true. Yeah, I think Boston won the cup. If Boston does win the cup, personally, I wouldn't be too mad about that, even as a Habs fan. Personally, I could see them winning. Given this kind of run they've been on, where it's like, they're kind of crashing a little bit. They definitely can rebound, and I think this man right here, on the cover of NHL 15, Bergeron, will have a bit of a letdown in the playoffs. But I think Marchand and Pastrnak, especially Pastrnak, can definitely carry the Bruins to a Stanley Cup Finals at least. And Rask, of course, and Halak, and Chara, Big Man Z. But yeah, personally, that voice crack though. Personally, I do think the Blues could win the cup. I think the Knights hopefully could win the cup. From the West, I do think the Leafs can win the cup, and I do think the Bruins can win the cup. There's a lot of them could win this year if they make the playoffs. I personally think if they were to make the playoffs, I think the Kings could potentially go on around a run. I know, call me crazy, but I feel like they would have had that run, one last good run left in them. Okay, there we go. Who's going? Ask Halak? Because whoever's out, I didn't hear about that. If whoever's out. Call me crazy. I see Tampa winning the junkie. Hey, Rask's out. Oh God, I didn't hear that actually. Techno junkie. You see Tampa winning the cup. Wow. I mean, they got embarrassed last year. I would love for them to keep getting embarrassed in the playoffs. But Tampa winning the cup, they definitely would have a point to make. Like, hey, we're not a joke we're not to be taken as a joke. We just won the cup. But personally, I don't know if I see the Lightning winning the cup this year. If you do, that's perfectly fine. Definitely. I could see it potentially happening, but I don't know if it could. I don't know if it will. I mean, the Lightning are starting to heat up. They're on a 10-game winning streak now, something like that. They can definitely make that run in the playoffs. Hopefully, but hopefully they don't get burnt out like last year and get dominated by a team like the Blue Jackets again. But yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, if you see Tampa winning the cup, who knows? Maybe in June you're looked at as like, oh my God, this dude predicted it in January, or you're looking at like, God, this guy predicted the team who got swept twice in the first round to win the Stanley Cup. I would think the former is more likely. I highly doubt they get swept in the first round again. If they were to get swept in any round, I could see it being the conference final, honestly. Well, if I'm right, I'll be. Yeah, you will be called a genius. Like I said, if you're right, you will be called a genius. I mean, hell, all you got to do is just say, "I see one Tampa winning the cup next year in July," and if they do that, just keep saying they'll win the cup, and when they eventually do, you'll be right. Oof, 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 oof. But yeah, guys, I'm probably gonna head out in just a second here. I do have stuff to do, like I said. Sadly, I'm gonna get out of here, but I have to. I want to force myself to stop streaming after about 40-45 minutes, just because I know I'd be up here for like an hour and a half to 2 hours if I could, but that's not really healthy. I don't want to get into that just yet. But yeah. So yeah. Who knows? Maybe one day, maybe one night, one night eventually, maybe just for the hell of it, maybe eventually in the future, I'll do a sleep stream. Maybe if I start a Patreon eventually, maybe that could be one of the goals. Maybe at like say $100 monthly, 500 monthly, or something like that. Maybe one of the goals can be a special sleep stream. I understand the stream would probably keep cutting out eventually here and there, and you guys probably couldn't see shit of what's on screen. But who knows? Maybe I'll connect my Sirius if I'm able to connect my Sirius to my computer. I actually probably would be able to do that. I think, and like set up something where you guys can donate and try and wake me up or something, which I highly doubt is gonna happen. Honestly, I like put it like right next to my bed, or I drag the bed out for. But that's for me to think about elsewhere. But I'm a pretty heavy sleeper for the most part. I don't think you guys would make me up. But who knows? Maybe that's the challenge of it. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to get this out of here just to do the outro. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, inclusive but not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My name is Harry. Subscribe to on Puff Club. Subscribe to on the HC Club. Shout out to my moderator, Jesse, for getting me this dope-ass webcam I've been using for about 3.5 or so months now, I believe. Subscribe to on Puff Club, subscribe to the Sub Hub, subscribe to the Mod Squad, the Sub Hub, excuse me. If you're a member of the Mod, if you're a Blue Wrench in the chat, like my good friend James Barry is, and Mr. DDT, who was up there in the chat, and of course, cannot forget my good friend Spotlight Hockey, Randy N, as well, of course, big boys, and Cool Dude, who was here for a bit at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, if you're a member of the Mod Squad, you're pretty dope as well. You're pretty dope if you're checking me out at all, actually, at least in my opinion. Links description are my Twitter and my Twitch. My Twitter is suspended right now. Once I get a phone, or I ask my mom or something, borrow hers because I don't have a phone right now. I really don't have any need for one. Once I do that and get my Twitter back, it'll be perfectly fine. I'll start tweeting there again. I don't really need a Twitter. I had no use for it really. It was just hockey kind of related. Thank you for the likes, by the way, guys. 7. I didn't even notice that. 7 likes. Wow, thank you very much. I didn't even have to tell anyone to hit like if you're enjoying it. I forgot about that. Actually, that's pretty awesome. 7 likes without me telling anyone to like or asking anyone to like. That's awesome. But if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button. It really helps. My Twitch, I still got to set aside a day. 8 likes. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, I still got to set aside a day to set up Streamlabs OBS and try and get the stream going and whatever. Maybe I'll do that sometime this month. I'm gonna set it aside, and then like every single day I'll just set it aside. But yeah, I do gotta set that aside. Where's orange juice? Hey, there's some orange juice. Orange juice, how's it going, brother? I need some orange juice. I actually genuinely want some orange juice. As long as there's no pulp. I don't like orange juice with pulp. Pulp is disgusting, in my opinion at least. If you guys like pulp, that's perfectly fine. Also in the description, of course, is the letterbox and or the Amazon wish list and the PO box. If you want to send me anything off there, it's perfectly awesome. Me, Bruins fan. Hey, orange juice, if you're a Bruins fan, I'm kind of a Bruins fan myself, actually. They're my 10th favorite team in the league. If you want to check out what my favorite teams are, there's a video on that on the channel. But yeah, if you're a Bruins fan, that's awesome. If you want to hit that subscribe, Brad Marchand all day indeed. I actually really love Brad Marchand. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Big Z, yeah, of course you gotta love Big Z. Marchand, love all of a majority of his tactics, honestly, especially the Justin Williams thing with the C from last year in the playoffs. That was pretty funny. But yeah, with the wish list and the PO box, if you guys want to send me anything, it's greatly appreciated. You will most likely get a video either of me unboxing what you got me, or if there's enough packages, which I really hope to get there one day, start doing M&M Monday Night Mail, which I would love to do. Maybe live or just record it and post it afterwards because the stream is probably looking very, very blurry right now. Big Z will probably retire after the season. Sadly, Big Z probably does retire after the season, but who knows if he goes another year? Because actually, didn't he sign an extension through next year, or is it through this year from last year that I'm thinking of? Because I thought it was into next year that Big Z was signed, and that $2 million cap hit, which coming off could definitely help the Bruins, but it's gonna suck seeing Zdeno retire finally. I say finally because he's been playing for like 2 decades. Over 2 decades. Because didn't he come in 97? 97? No, 20 years ago he would have been 22. Yeah, I feel like he came in like right